Hello, I'm Bob Stebbings. Welcome to Bespoke Accounting and welcome to the boardroom. In this video, I want to look at what are control accounts. These are the key accounts that a business owner needs to reconcile. Now, double entry bookkeeping became established in 14th century Italy. You may not have heard of double entry bookkeeping or know what it is, but it is still central to all bookkeeping systems. And that includes cloud-based accounting software such as Xero. In Xero, these key accounts are called system accounts. The postings you can make to these accounts are restricted, but it is important that they are still reconciled. In cloud-based accounting systems such as Xero, you'll normally have a dashboard. On that dashboard is your first key control account, and that is your bank account. Or you may have more than one bank account. Bank entries are automated by data feeds, and within Xero you go in and post those account transactions. When you've posted them all, you get a green tick and a great job done. But that doesn't mean to say that all those payments and receipts in your bank account have been correctly posted. But you will assume that they have. You'll assume that that bank account is right. It could be wrong for a variety of reasons. In Xero, you have the ability to mark your sales invoices and your purchase invoices as paid. You do that because you know they're being paid, but they may not be the amounts that eventually come through on the bank account. You also can go into the account transactions and mark individual transactions in the bank account as reconciled. Again, that's not reconciling them with the actual bank statement and the bank feed, so there could be differences. The bank feed is automated, but there are breaks occasionally because of the internet or problems with the bank. So you reconcile all the transactions that have actually come into your bank account and may not realise that there are entries missing. So what does this mean? It means that there's a possibility all your expenses or your income haven't been correctly recorded in your accounts. The other two main control accounts that you need to look at are your accounts receivable and accounts payable. You may know these as your sales ledger and your purchase ledger. The postings you can make to these accounts are restricted in software like Xero, but that doesn't mean to say that the list of aged receivables or aged debtors and the aged payables or aged creditors is correct. It may be that you give settlement discounts or receive settlement discounts, but don't correctly record them in the postings to those ledgers. So the balances for those customers and suppliers will be incorrect. Within Xero, if you receive money before you've issued the sales invoice, these are called prepayments, and you record them as prepayments for VAT purposes. They do then need to be allocated to the invoice when it's raised, and that's not always done. You may make cash payments and receive cash. All these payments and receipts have to be correctly posted in Xero to make sure that those aged receivables and aged payables are correct. Within your aged receivables or debtors, there may be balances you know you cannot collect. These are called bad debts and need to be written out of that ledger. If you employ staff, you'll have a wages control. Now, software for payroll such as the Xero software will make journals automatically to the wages control. That doesn't necessarily mean the balance on there is correct. It may be that you make cash advances to your staff or make loans to your staff, and these can throw the balance out. You may employ casual staff and incorrectly not actually process them through your payroll. Those payments to casual staff, again, can cause the wages control balance to be incorrect. It follows if you've got employees, you'll have PAYE and national insurance. This control account can be wrong because the journals that come through from the software may not include adjustments for things such as statutory sick pay, statutory maternity pay, student loan deductions, and the annual employer's allowance. These may be adjustments that you have to make yourself, and for that reason the POA and National Insurance Control Account balance could be wrong. If you're in the construction industry, you may have tax deducted from the payments to you, and you will deduct payments that you make to your subcontractors. All these payments have to be reconciled with HMRC. You may be VAT registered. The VAT control account may not show the right balance because you've used the wrong rates during the year. These can be corrected, but it's then vital that the corrections are made on the next VAT return. We've identified VAT, POA and National Insurance. There's also corporation tax where you're making payments to HM Revenue and Customs. It's important to make sure all these payments are posted to the right account. If you're unfortunate enough to fall behind in your payments to HMRC, you'll incur interest on late payments. If these aren't correctly posted out of the control accounts to the expense, again, that control account balance will be incorrect. It is important to make sure that all these control accounts or system accounts are reconciled and that the balances are correct, because if you don't, your expenses and your income could be either overstated or understated, which will affect your profits and your tax. That is why you need an accountant or a Xero certified bookkeeper to check and reconcile these control accounts at the end of the year.